Crossing plus ability plus space plus pet plus planting plus sweet pet plus food plus cute treasure. Meng Qiqi, a foodie for plant graduate students, unexpectedly traveled for thousands of years and was reborn. Everyone here has their own abilities. Strange mutated plants have energy when eaten. The special talking beast tribe has gone crazy. Rich ingredients that no one knows about. The Zerg have moved to her galaxy. She adhered to the foodie system, gained a group of friends, and continuously strengthened the foodie team, carrying war pets to develop new ingredients. Unknowingly, I embarked on a completely different path. Keywords of the novel. Crossing the star. I rely on being able to eat and enjoy without a pop-up window. Crossing the star. I rely on being able to eat and enjoy being able to enjoy and enjoy being able to enjoy. Download the full text. Crossing the star. I rely on being able to eat and enjoy being able to enjoy and enjoy the latest chapters. Chapter 1. After traveling through time, I am illiterate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. After traveling through time, I am illiterate. Meng Qiqi just yawned and rubbed her eyes, then touched her soft bed. Suddenly, it became damp, and making a loud noise. So he immediately woke up with a start. Looking at the endless jungle in front of us, as well as the excessively thick trees, it is impossible to tell the species or exactly where this is. After a moment of confusion, she touched her face and touched her body. Fortunately, she was a girl. I breathed a sigh of relief, but at least I didn't change my gender. It seems that I have also followed the trend of time travel. Becoming a traveler. Looking for any evidence of identity or useful memories, I lowered my head and looked at my clothes. The material was a bit like copper and a bit like iron. Hard. But it doesn't sting or feel uncomfortable when worn. It's also strange. What material is it? So he touched his ears again, as if he was wearing 2 earrings but couldn't take them off. Looking at his hands, he felt like he was just a teenager. How could a teenager be in the jungle? Meng Qiqi is very puzzled. Meng Qiqi closed her eyes and thought carefully. Isn't time travel always accompanied by memories? Why is there a blank space with me, without even the basic knowledge of life? Fortunately, at least she had played the game of survival in the wilderness before and was not completely confused. After looking around, I decided to take a step forward to see if there was any food that could be eaten or weapons that could be used to prevent any unexpected situations. Carefully looking around, I found that the plants here grow exceptionally tall, even the dandelions on the ground. They are all slightly taller than her. Is it a genetic mutation? Or is it that the things here look particularly tall? Or is it about being too young? Although Meng Qiqi was an orphan, her parents were famous researchers in the country before their death, so even after their death, she never suffered. But because she loves to eat, she still has some understanding of all the plant life. It's not too scary here either. Meng Qiqi picked some dandelions and some strange mushrooms. I'm not sure if it's really edible here, or if I've decided to pick some of the things I see, as well as the oversized fungus. Cold mixed fungus, cold mixed dandelion, roasted mushrooms, mushroom stewed chicken, cream mushroom chicken soup. I'm so hungry. A person in their 20s is still starving, isn't it? After smelling it, I suddenly felt seafood. Maybe I could still enjoy the sashimi and move forward with full power. Meng Qiqi began to run towards the seaside. When I ran to the edge of the jungle, I found that I didn't see the sea, but instead saw a super large steel object. It is in a state of disrepair. Meng Qiqi carefully observed for a while, and it seemed that there was no danger, so she stepped forward to take a look. Suddenly, a mechanical sound rang in my ear. Click on the repair mode. Only then can it make a sizzling sound. Startled, he touched the earrings on his ear again. Sure enough, it seemed like the cable was disconnected and there was no sound. I once searched for buttons that could display the repair words in these scrap metal. I searched but couldn't find it. I struggled to climb onto the fallen seat and sit down, checking if there were any buttons on the control panel displaying the words, repair. At least the text in this unfamiliar place was still consistent. Only the sizzling display sound on the screen, intermittently ringing, welcoming the owner back. Due to severe damage caused by the falling armor. Please adopt emergency return mode. Meng Qiqi looked at the emergency return and chip repair displayed on the screen, and also clicked on the emergency return and then the chip repair. See which one can operate normally. Chip repair startup. Connecting chips. Emergency return start. Activate emergency mode. Connect to the return system. The sound of Kaka being installed and reassembled sounded, and Meng Qiqi was suddenly tied to the seat. A glass material was buckled over, and the control panel automatically became smaller and projected onto the glass, causing the space to be folded and reduced, successfully connected the chip, starting the automatic repair function. Before Meng Qiqi could observe and be shocked by the changes in the legendary battle armor, she heard a mechanical sound coming on. Her eyes darkened and she fainted. Meng Qiqi woke up again, mistakenly thinking that she was dreaming. Upon closer inspection, she was still lying in the emergency boat, but her mind had some different memories. Tap Galaxy. My name is Meng Qiqi. Low cultivation value of non-maternal birth gene system. Fire. F. Level, upgradable, age 27 years old, maximum health value 300 years old, adult 30 years old. I have a different memory, not to mention the memories of Meng Qiqi's 2 lifetimes. Meng Qiqi belongs to mechanical embryo birth. No parents part of the time, it's basically about working hard and living a good life. But I don't know if it's due to her persona or her own ruthless behavior. Belongs to a kind of life that only lasts for 3 episodes before passing away. Low combat power, low survival rate, but high destructive power. Tapu star is cute 7 or 7, but I never thought I could live a lifetime again. From the memories of her previous life, she chose to follow the team to this desolate star, thinking that she could find a cute pet in a galaxy. As a future combat partner. I didn't expect that the damage to the warship and the loss of contact with her team members led to her death here. It was really unfortunate that she didn't live to be 100 years old in 2 lifetimes. Her wish before death was to stop tinkering and live for a few more years. Meng Qiqi finally realized that this was no longer the world she lived in. The country she lived in is now known as the Ancient Country because of severe natural pollution, which led to the outbreak of species mutation in the apocalypse. It has been more than 1,000 years since Tapu star. Meng Qiqi, where are you? Meng Qiqi. Meng Qiqi. A series of calls came, and Meng Qiqi came out of the emergency boat. It should be the mentor and team members. Lan Lingzi, are you sure Meng Qiqi fell here? Said the chubby little man with a simple and honest expression on his face. The coordinates are here. Meng Qiqi looked at the flickering figures in the jungle. I'm here. Meng .7.7 quickly rushed towards her and hugged her tightly. I've told you so many times that your broken aircraft is no longer working, it just won't be replaced. This time it's okay, it almost cost me my life. You scared me to death, Lan Lingzi muttered. The big red eyes of the 2 cattail fans breathed a sigh of relief as they looked at her without any harm. One of Meng Qiqi's only friends, Meng Qiqi saw the short girl in front of her. Suddenly warm up. Because in modern times, such a straightforward and interest-free concern is precious to her. But it all belongs to her here, and thinking about it makes her very happy. I will definitely follow her last wish, live well, eat well, drink well, and enjoy life well. Protect her friends. I can't help but think of the girl Lan Lingzi. At some point in the future. His father went to support defense due to the attack of the beast tide, but passed away. The days after that were truly unbearable. Because of her cheerful and righteous personality, she offended many people and lost her reliance. Empty money without corresponding military force. Just a white-faced man from the battle team was deceiving money and lust. Later, Lan Suzuki discovered that she was pregnant at the time. A mental outburst caused by anger. Causing genetic mutation and death. Meng Qiqi smiled and looked at Lan Lingzi. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Here you are. This is a new flavor from my inventory, with apples, chili peppers, and cucumber and eggs. Lan Lingzi took out a bottle of nutrient solution from the space button and handed it to Meng Qiqi. Meng Qiqi, Lan Lingzi, you run too fast, and I also admire you. You can run faster with only one soil attribute than with a water system. The chubby little man with a silly expression gasped for breath and looked at Lan Lingzi, who smiled while looked at the chubby little guy in front of him. For you, this person's name is Wengang. He is a water attribute superpower. Meng Qiqi, as long as you have nothing to do, in the future, you must pay attention to the safety production issues of battle armor when traveling, and protecting yourself is the most important. The man, dressed in blue and black soft armor, spoke politely. Teacher. I understand now. Thank you very much. Mengqi, your armor has been broken like this, but it should have been changed long ago. Because the attribute abilities are very special and the killing power is also great, everyone is very friendly to Mo 77. Since we have found Meng Qiqi, let's take a break in place and then recall the warship. We have never explored before, so we must pay attention to safety and everyone should not leave, teacher and instructed. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Giant shell beasts become nutrients. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Giant shell beasts become nutrients. Lan Lingzi looked at Meng Qiqi, holding on to the nutrient solution and remained silent. Just ask. Eat. What are you looking at? Don't worry, you don't need to spend money. Try the new flavor quickly. Lan Lingzi opened an apple-flavored dish and took a sip with a feeling of enjoyment on her face. Open the remaining yellow egg and hand it to Meng Qiqi. Meng Qiqi smelled a strange smell and couldn't imagine what it would be like to eat it in her mouth. Xiaolan, stop eating. I found something good. Come on. Don't say anything. Every time you say you found something good, it's always me who gets hurt in the end. Let's not talk about the past. Last time. What did you find? Nutritional ingredients. As a result, I ate them and lay in the medical box for 2 days before coming out. For a whole 2 days. Didn't you also receive compensation? Meng Qiqi sympathized with Lan Lingzi. After all, it was not easy to find a friend who could make trouble like this. Meng Qiqi regards Lan Lingzi as her best friend and shares any good things she finds. Not every time is a good thing. Hello, what do you mean? Isn't that what you gave? The school will take the things for testing. After that, the things will be rated as first-level harmful substances, which can be used for hunting or paralyzing prey and animals. Here's a medal for each of us, along with the Interstellar coin. Fortunately, I ate less, otherwise I wouldn't know how long to lie down. Lan Lingzi said with a melancholy tone, but didn't I also eat it? The most infuriating thing is eating the same thing. Why are you okay? Lan Lingzi took another sip of the nutrient solution in frustration. Meng Qiqi picked up some stones and piled them together as she spoke. I found a mecha board and placed it on top. Put some dry firewood underneath and start a fire. Mengqi picked up those mushrooms. Take out the fruit, cut the mushroom, and place it on the board. The little chubby guy watched Mengqi flip around there, unsure of what he was doing. Whispering to my friends around me, I don't know what to say. But looking at them with a sympathetic expression, Lan Lingzi could probably guess. Meng Qiqi walked back and forth by the seaside. Teacher An walked over and instructed Meng Qiqi. Meng Qiqi, don't get close to the seawater. We're not sure if there are any large ferocious beasts around here. A good mentor, she didn't originally plan to go into the water because she was in a strange environment and didn't have a certain understanding. It's better not to take risks. Mengqi is by the beach, holding a broken mecha board. Dig and dig, digging out clams as big as palms. With a sigh on his face, he even mutated and looked at this fat one. I don't know if no one eats it or if it breeds too much. Take out the big bucket and dig out the razor clams and a few long things that look both like abalone and sea urchin lying on the rocks. Meng Qiqi returned with a full load and placed the razor clams one by one on the iron plate. Qiqi, why are you picking up water bugs? Isn't this what fish eat? I'll know in a moment, this is really delicious. Let's just forget it, I feel like I'm not happy to enjoy it myself. But I can help, Lingzi said, helping to add some firewood. After a while, the mushrooms were roasted until they were charred and soft. Fragrant and accompanied by a sweet aroma. The seafood was roasted over high heat and opened its mouth, revealing the white meat inside, looking extremely fresh and tender. What's so fragrant? The little chubby guy came over and looked at the things on the iron plate, with a curious expression on his face. Qiqi, this time it smells so good, there's no strange smell like before. Lingzi swallowed her saliva and looked at it, come and taste, while eating mushrooms. While speaking delicious, Lingzi said with a satisfied expression, completely forgetting her previous lesson. The two of them happily started eating, completely ignoring the pitiful little chubby guy next to them. The two of them quickly finished eating all the grilled mushrooms and looked up to find the front. There was a chubby little man about to cry, his blue eyes blinking like a husky. Try this, it's very delicious. Meng Qiqi picked up the seafood and took a bite. It was cooked very fresh and accompanied by a bit of sweetness. The seafood in the sea had a salty taste and tasted better than the mushrooms just now. The mushroom just now has a faint tinge and lacks salt flavor, which is considered good. It's still delicious. Looking at the two people competing in front of me, I took a few and sent them to teacher, and Li and Mingyan actually smelled the fragrance a long time ago, but as a mentor, you can't have the audacity to ask like that chubby little guy. Laowen, you said that girl really smells good. I just drank the nutrient solution and felt hungry again, said the forestry supervisor with a sigh, and Mingyan sat solemnly. We can't stay here for too long. After we finish eating, we'll hurry and leave. Teacher and Teacher Lin, you guys have tasted it, very delicious. I have already tried it and it's not poisonous, Meng Qiqi said with a slightly chubby face, smiling like a little son. Before Teacher Lin could speak, forestry took it over. Meng Qiqi went back to finish eating and quickly packed up. We should leave now. Teacher Lin didn't forget to take a few from forestry's arms as he spoke, and as expected, no one could resist the temptation of delicious food. This is too delicious, Laowen. Do you want to eat it or not? If you don't want to eat it, don't waste it on me. Who said I don't eat? Everyone, get up quickly and step back. Teacher Lin stood up seriously, holding a gun. Meng Qiqi pulled Lingzi closer to her mentors, looking at the undulating sea surface. The waves surged towards the shore, getting bigger and bigger, accompanied by a clattering sound. Everyone sat preparing for the battle, and finally, a dense array of black and green things emerged from the sea, rushing towards everyone. They also had black burrs and many legs, making them stand up straight with sweat. Not good, it's a giant shell beast. Be careful not to get caught in pliers, prepare for battle. Meng Qiqi carefully looked at it, the giant shell beast. Isn't this the enlarged version of the crab? It just has a few extra legs and fur. Is this married to a spider? It looks so ugly, and the pliers are still serrated crab roe buns, spicy crabs, raw pickled crabs, crab sticks. This one must be satisfying to eat, let alone so many. Meng Qiqi, why are you so stunned? Hurry up and bake with fire. Lingzi used her powers to build a wall to resist the constant impact of too many pliers, which was about to collapse. Little chubby, quickly pour water on those crab shell beasts. Quick, Meng Qiqi took out his electric gun from the space button and prepared to use it. Okay, the chubby little man was busy with sweat all over his head. Everyone, step back and don't get wet. I can repel them. Can you help me circle them with water, Teacher Lin? Meng Qiqi fired the electric shock gun to its maximum and aimed it at the water. Lightning enters the water and spreads outwards from a single point. The electric light flickers and a burnt smell can be smelled. After a while, everything stopped moving. And Ming Yen and Forestry stared blankly. It turns out that killing a giant shell beast is so simple. Is a second-level mutated beast so hasty? It's a waste. Some of them are burnt out when the battery is high. It's really wasteful, Meng Qiqi muttered. Lan Lingzi looked at her like a fool. Tattoo, take a look and help put the injured classmate into the treatment room. Clean up as soon as possible and we need to return immediately, and Ming Yen said quickly, Mengqi, how do you know it's afraid of electricity? The tall and thin boy walked over and asked, from books, Meng Qiqi said as she pulled Lan Lingzi and walked to the side with a big crab in her arms. The chubby little one sat on the ground humbly, watching as Meng Qiqi walked away with something in her arms. Her eyes lit up. Due to insufficient electricity, the crab shells were already cooked, and it was very easy to open them. Looking at the crab roe inside, the aroma of the crab meat made people unable to resist taking a deep breath. Everyone was resting in place, smelling the fragrance and looking in the direction of Meng Qiqi. Teacher, this is also edible. I have read about it in ancient books before, and it has high nutritional value and can also supplement energy. After tasting it, Mengqi felt a lot refreshed and warm all over her body. She immediately came to tell her mentor that discovering nutritious ingredients can be rewarded teacher and took out a testing device to test. No radioactive substances were detected, edible secondary nutritional ingredients are unnamed. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Nutritional Ingredients. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Nutritional Ingredients. Forestry took those who had been electrocuted but did not die, and led someone to repair the knife. When they turned around, they saw Meng Qiqi delivering something to an Ming Yen, and immediately handed over the work to someone else and ran over. What's wrong? My end of work has already been closed. And Ming Yen looked at Forestry. If your eyes weren't fixed on what I was holding, I would truly believe it. Go collect some corpses of giant shell beasts, I can use them, and Ming Yen said, turning around and notifying his classmates to collect the corpses of giant shell beasts and return to the college for research. Forestry saw that their goal had not been achieved, so they continued to carry out the corpse collection operation. 7 or 7, I can't fit the buttons in my space anymore. I requisitioned that tall guy's button, and if I hadn't paid him for saying that it's not fresh after being stored for a long time, I would have planned to wrap it up. Yeah, this mutated beast is still warm after eating it. Take it back and share it with my family, Wen Gang said while eating. The thin and tall boy glanced at Wen Gang, didn't say a word, turned around, left, and went to collect it again. Can you tell everyone that this thing can be eaten now? Lan Lingzi, do you think those people are fools? When you see me eating and accepting, after all, teacher and will say something. After all, how can a person with attribute abilities be an ordinary person? Even ordinary people are mostly intelligent. Besides Lan Lingzi, if someone has a name and is tall, you will give them a nickname, Lin Shetsan. I got it, you're the only one who talks a lot. Be careful that Qi won't take you with him next time he finishes making things, I said to you, but next time I tell Qi, I won't give him anything to eat. Cut, I don't believe seventh sister is so cruel to me, she said, her eyes still twirling, not knowing what kind of devilish idea she had. Meng Qiqi watched as the two of them were eating and didn't forget to argue, wondering how they managed to speak and eat at a slow pace. Kanj. When will Mengqi find the ingredients again? This way, I won't have to drink nutritional supplements for the next 6 months and can still eat delicious food. Just think about it and be happy. As Kanja's good friend, I want to plan for his future. After all, attribute consumption requires a lot of nutritional supplements. Let's go. Oh. Wait for me. I saw many people on the battleship, most of whom I didn't know because I was cute and liked to stay at home studying strange things, so I didn't worry about being discovered that someone else was already inside. Everyone is tired. Let's go back and rest first. We will set off immediately for Kato Star. I want to sleep with you. Farewell, I'm afraid I won't be able to wake up tomorrow morning. But don't you sleep with me every time you go to a strange place. There are always exceptions. Besides, if you want to see me research. No, I'll go to bed first, as the door closed. Lan Lingzi took a breath. Fortunately, I dodged quickly. I guess I won't be able to get up tomorrow while studying the gas bomb, he said with a worried tone. The helpless face of Meng Qiqi outside the door, at least wait for me to leave before we talk, okay? I can hear you. Even though it's not myself who gets roast, it's me who gets hurt. Meng Qiqi returned to the room and breathed a sigh of relief. Even if he has his memories, he's afraid of accidents however strange it may be, no matter how strange it is, Meng Qiqi himself is no longer. Despite being a fire-type ability master, he still wants to refine medicine. Put those strange items together and burn them with fire. Sometimes it explodes, sometimes the poisonous gas fills the sky, and sometimes it smells so bad. After being poisoned a few times by Lan Lingzi stubble, the word research immediately cast a shadow over it. Meng Qiqi lay in bed, thinking about her modern friends, wondering if they had thought about her or sought her out. Her house and her car are unknown. Who was photographed for? Another thing is my own dog, Duomi. I don't know what's going on. Meng Qiqi looked at the gray chandelier and then at the surrounding decorations. The beige curtains and small beige dressing table were enlarged versions of the capsule bedroom. According to the memories of Qiqi, this planet has many war pets. A girl with ordinary water system attributes before. Fortunately, after picking up an injured electric attribute battle pet and bringing it back, it also had electric attributes, which was very sensational at the time. Meng Qiqi pondered and fell asleep. Dang 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 dang, Meng Qiqi was awakened by a knock on the door, her eyebrows furrowed. Who dares to disturb my mother's early sleep? She opened her eyes and took a look at the surrounding environment, and immediately woke up and faced reality. Qiqi, get up quickly, Masterin. They're about to leave. Hurry up, are you sure seventh sister is up? When Gang said and leaned over the door to listen. The click door opened. Meng Qiqi looked at the crowd with a wandering expression on her face, realizing that there were still quite a few people. It was not surprising to see Lan Lingzi, Wen Gang, Lin Shutzan, and a black, not tall, and small-eyed boy named Lin Yang. Let's go. Wild grass and trees are towering from the ground, unable to reach the top when looking up. Only through the cracks, the sunlight seeps through, the light dribbling. I don't know what kind of birds are chirping today. Amazing. The most primitive jungle is nothing more than that. Thinking from the bottom of my heart. Pick up a big branch from the roadside and hold it. Aren't we all startling the snake with the grass? Meng Qiqi thought to herself, this tall grass. I don't know if it will startle the snake. I hope not to meet. A large open space appeared in front of the path, and I saw Teacher and other students. When everyone is here, we will set off in 5 teams. 2 mentors will lead a team to form a free team and keep in touch at any time. If there is no harvest within 5 hours, we must return. Meng Qiqi sighed. Forestry waved his hands. Meng Qiqi saw an acquaintance and naturally walked over. After all, no one wanted to team up with strangers. Laowen, let me just say it. Let's still team up with them. You shout like that, probably everyone has to turn around. Masterin, Master Lin. Meng Qiqi approached and greeted her. Teacherin, we're here too, the chubby little man said with a smile as he squeezed Lan Lingzi aside. All right, let's go, and Ming Yen said, handing a bottle to each person, can only be on the periphery. If encountering an emergency situation, spray it to isolate the odor. I will activate the positioning. If you need help, you can call for help according to your own positioning. Don't forcefully or maliciously harm exotic beasts. Not all exotic beasts are friendly, said Forestry. Lan Lingzi pulled Meng Qiqi aside and said, are you sure you want to find the war pet? After all, our level is a bit low. Besides, if you like to buy a trained one and keep it for fun, you can save your life at most if you encounter dangerous ones here. Even if you encounter someone who costs a lot of money to raise them, your money is not enough. It's okay, I have a way to solve it. I'm afraid you'll end up risking your life. At the very least, I have combat armor. Look, you have at most a safety shield. If we have anything to do together, I'll pull you into combat armor. Okay, end of this chapter. Chapter 4. The Big Cat of Riot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. The Big Cat of Riot. Meng Qiqi didn't plan to go deep into the jungle because she didn't have the strength. It's better to watch the excitement from the side. For them in a hurry to find. Why don't you come up with a solution? Find a place to have a delicious breakfast, finish it on time, and be nutritious and healthy. At least she doesn't think she's lucky enough to catch a leak. Xiaolan, did you have breakfast early? Aren't you hungry? I ate that exotic beast meat this morning. It's not my first time eating it, but it's still very delicious. Let's go, I'll take you to find something to eat. Okay, then we won't look for war pets anymore. Are you saying that with so many people entering the woods now, you probably won't encounter anything? Wen just saw Meng Qiqi and Lan Lingzi. Just wanted to step forward. Wen Gang. Why did you forget to come here? Let's go quickly. Let's all go in the same direction and find a fart. Lin Yang said as he walked forward. Can go, wait for us, fat guy, hurry up. Wen Gang thought for a moment and left together. If he didn't get lucky, he would withdraw. It would be great to find Qiqi and the others on the outskirts. Fatty guy is also something you can call him. Wen Gook. Meng Qiqi walked to one side with the orchid bell and kept hitting the grass with a stick. Qiqi, what are you doing here? Where are you going? The grass is too tall to use armor, and it hurts to scratch my face. Okay, it's right ahead. There should be water flowing in front of us. We'll be right there. It's great to rest after eating. 7 or 7. How do I feel like we're here for an outing, not to find war pets? Okay, just find a place to rest. I really don't want to leave anymore. Meng Qiqi lowered his head to look at the leaves he was stepping on, and suddenly, he didn't quite match up. Take it out carefully and take a look. Alright, take a look at this leaf. It seems different from what we saw earlier. I see things differently. I feel like these grasses all grow the same, just tall, short, fat, and thin. This is sweet potato leaf, also known as sweet potato leaf. Really, Meng Qiqi said as she carefully looked at the leaves. After all, her parents are studying plants, so they are still familiar with these things. Sweet potato leaves are the leaves of sweet potatoes in the family Convolvulaceae. Sweet potato leaves, also known as sweet potato leaves or sweet potato leaves, are the tender leaves and stems of sweet potatoes. Sweet potato leaves are divided into two types: pointed leaves and round leaves. The pointed leaves are more tough and chewy, while the round leaves are more refreshing. Moreover, sweet potato leaves have the effect of preventing cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, as well as treating constipation. Take a closer look at this sweet potato leaf and see how big this sweet potato is. The leaves are so big that if it mutates, it's enough to take care of it. Xiaolan, give me a shovel. You step back, step back. Is there anything on Qiqi? I'll help you. Qiqi, don't dig anymore. I told you, I'll help you. Is there anything underneath? Lan Lingzi used her powers to flip everything out of the soil. Meng Qiqi looked at her tired and panting self, not at all embarrassed. Picking up, Meng Qiqi pointed to the sweet potatoes on the ground. Lan Lingzi decisively put it away without any effort, each sweet potato without any soil. Lan Lingzi and Meng Qiqi sat by the river, roasting sweet potatoes until cooked. Meng Qiqi opened it and saw that it was golden and soft inside, with sweet and fragrant waves coming from it. She began to eat it with Lan Lingzi. Meng Qiqi, I noticed that you've been a bit strange lately. Meng Qiqi was taken aback for a moment. Did she miss any clues? I'm not surprised. One day. Meng Qiqi said vaguely. Yeah, you've been lucky lately. You've actually learned a lot. The ancient Chinese class we attended together was like a heavenly book, but you realized that I should also work hard. Having a straight and straightforward personality is beneficial. Hurry up and collect it, we can make a fortune. When we go back, I'll make you sweet potatoes and sweet potato cakes. If you sell them for half of the money, I think that's quite interesting. Lan Lingzi looked like a fool and said, this is what you found. Besides, I'm not short of money, but if you find or make something delicious, you must give it to me first. The first one is not negotiable, and I'll take it back for you. I guess you won't be able to put the button down either. Meng Qiqi listened with a warm heart. After all, the ingredients are very scarce now, and it is understood that good nutritional ingredients are very valuable. Then I'll keep it for you as a dowry. I'll keep it for you. I won't give you the money in vain. When you're busy, don't underestimate it. If you don't want it, you won't consider me a friend anymore. Let's go and see if there are any other gains. Lan Lingzi looked at her thinner body in front of her, and the sunlight fell on her through the leaves, as if it was faintly shining. It seemed that she was not her, and indeed she was her after all. Meng Qiqi wouldn't have been like this before. Although she is 2 years older than herself, she is not sociable because she rarely goes out, so she is still simple. She is always deceived, but she is always smart and always discovers, but she always stands out. Although this unreliable and ancient saying of preparing a dowry for herself suddenly gives a different feeling. 7 or 7, wait for me, go ahead and take a look over there. The two of them walked towards the upper reaches of the river without turning back, so they didn't notice. A person with long black fur the size of a kitten, big eyes covered in mist, and small limbs limped to the side of the extinguished ash sniffed and swallowed the leftover sweet potato peels they had eaten, their eyes flickering and their ears shaking a few times. After smelling it again, their eyes darkened and they left. Meng Qiqi looked at the slightly rushing water flow, clear and visible, with strange-shaped stones and water plants swaying with the water as if waving their hands. It's strange that I didn't see any fish. Qiqi, what are you looking for? Is there anything in this water? I'm staying away, right? I've heard people say that there are many strange fish in big rivers, very fierce. If they bite us, it won't be good. She stood guard in front of Meng Qiqi and said, it's okay to watch me, Meng Qiqi said, breaking open sweet potatoes and crab meat of different sizes and throwing them into the bucket. She didn't know if the fish here would eat these things, so fishing should be eating insects. Alright, let's go. Let's take a look later. Lan Lingzi looked at Meng Qiqi's operation and couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. What can I do with this wooden bucket in water? It's better to use the power grid directly, but what can we get? Won't it be used for research, right? When Gang followed Lin Xiaozan and the others on the outskirts for a while, but didn't notice anything, isn't it rumored that there are really war pets here? But we definitely won't be able to meet them on the outskirts, there's not even a trace of them, Li Yang muttered. Lin Xiaozan furrowed her brows slightly. If it weren't for the sake of her aunt's face, she wouldn't have wanted to take care of him. It's too verbose. When Gang didn't speak and drank a bottle of nutrient solution. He even regretted not sending the meat of the giant shell beast to his cousin, and was fooled into leaving no crab legs. But after thinking about it, I was instantly relieved to have a 1-star battle armor. On the other hand, Mentorin and Forestry are extremely angry. Xian Wanbing, are you crazy? Do you know that the newly born shadow leopard cub cannot be used as a war pet? Not to mention whether it can be raised, it is the parents of this leopard cub who will leave us all here as rations. Send it back immediately before it is discovered. The roaring voice of Forestry sounded, dressed in a tight white casual outfit, outlining a curvy figure, her pink face blushed with embarrassment from yelling, her eyes slightly teary and her tail drooping, her mouth trembling slightly and choking up. Master Lin, I just accidentally got lost. I don't know where the middle circle is, and this cub was encountered over there. I didn't mean to. Xian Wanbing whimpered as she held on to the cub of shadow leopard and didn't let go. The tears shed by the beautiful woman caused a group of people to cherish her beauty. After all, Xian Wanbing's fertility rate is 35%. Although her fertility rate may be a bit low, the current high fertility rate is generally very low. Naturally, people hope to have a high fertility rate person to conceive and have children. Such children will have high talents. Teacher Lin, why don't we leave this to Sister Wanbing? After all, shadow leopards are rare. Lu Yushi looked at Xian Wanbing with a reassuring look. Yeah, besides, aren't we okay now? Yeah, it was a pity to have let it go after a hard encounter. Forestry stared at several people talking with his eyes. If it were Lu Yushi, it would be fine. Most of you who helped to speak up have ulterior motives. For the sake of Lu Yushi's father, General Lu, I will shut up and not speak up. Who makes me stand firm behind the scenes? If something goes wrong, you can all guarantee that you have the ability to go out alive and not implicate others, then take it with you, and Ming Yan said, looking at Lu Yushi and others. Laoan. Forestry looked disapproving. After all, if these people had an accident, they couldn't explain it, and it was still them who suffered in the end. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The Big Cat 2 of the Riot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The Big Cat 2 of the Riot. And Ming Yan comforted and looked at the forestry industry, telling him not to act recklessly. Lu Yushi looked at the people around him and was somewhat shaken. After all, nothing is as important as his own life. Only with life can he find a way to hold the beauty back. After saying that I don't particularly like Xian Wanbing's drooping eyes flashed with a hint of resentment, always like this, always at the most critical stage when someone appeared to block the way. Can I touch it and let it go? After all, I don't want this pet to implicate everyone. She said with a reluctant touch on her face, her eyes turning red again. Why don't you put it in the bracelet? Anyway, it hasn't woken up, and Shadow Leopard won't realize we took it with us, said a man reluctantly. Lu Yushi looked at Xian Wanbing's pitiful expression and felt a little shaken again. If you don't want to be implicated, then why are you bringing it back? The second fool is really not Shaolinyi, muttering in his heart. I'll put it back in its original place. You guys go first, hurry up. And Ming Yan unquestionably said that he felt the surrounding atmosphere becoming chaotic. Ahem, ahem. A sharp and deafening roar sounded from deep in the forest. The strong wind blew by, and the entire forest's vegetation was blown with a clattering sound. The small grass was blown upside down, and leaves drifted down in waves. I can't even leave in retrospect, said Forestry with a solemn expression on his face. Everyone evacuate from the forest to where the battleship is gathered, no longer allowed to stay in place, and Ming Yan activated the emergency alarm based on positioning. Lu Yushi and others also panicked, all looking at Xian Wanbing and the sleeping cub in its arms. Hurry up, let's put down the cub and leave quickly. We may not be able to leave now. Everyone couldn't help but complain about Xian Wanbing in their hearts. Although they didn't say it on the surface, Xian Wanbing couldn't help but feel scared. After all, it brought back the cubs of Shadow Leopard, let alone. And Ming Yan looked at Xian Wanbing with a dazed expression, his eyes wandering and his expression darkening again. Prepare for battle armor. A strong wind rushed towards us, and the pitch-black wings trembled a few times, instantly closing on the ground, revealing robust limbs. The brown eyes were burning with anger, and the nose was slightly wrinkled with long fangs, growling low. The tail had 3 long tail feathers that were slightly erect, and the tip of the tail flickered with the light of Kaka. Laoan, this is a star-mutated beast. These guys are the ancestors who seek death. How could this thing be here? What's the situation? Forestry stared closely at them. It did not attack us. Everyone, don't do anything. And Ming Yan said mutation war pets are divided into 5 levels. Low level, medium level, high level, star level, god level. Low level beasts belong to the primary level and have no attributes or special features. Combat power level 1. Intermediate level belongs to attribute-based abilities, can be used as a pet or war pet, unable to advance. Combat power level 2. Advanced belongs to attribute abilities with a lifespan of up to 100 years, can be used as a war pet or pet, with attributes that can be upgraded. Combat power level 3 can be promoted. Star rating, divided into low, medium, and high. Belonging to a special mutation with a lifespan of over 300 years can be used as a war pet or pet. Attribute that can be upgraded and communicate with people. Ability attributes can be shared with the owner. Divine level almost none. The 4 small ears of the shadow leopard trembled slightly, sniffing in the air. Its tail feathers stood upright, and the electric light suddenly increased. My forelimbs slightly curved and I let out one angry sound after another. If someone understands, they may know that it is currently cursing, which bastard is stealing my son. If I send something back to my sister, my son will be gone. If my sister finds out about my skin, it will be gone. Hand over my son. Shadow leopard's body moved slightly. Kid, have your people return my child, or else you won't want to leave, he said. A deep voice rang out from Meng Yan's ear, and he instantly became tense. Don't look for me, I'm right in front of you. You are. Don't forget to return my son. Sure, but please let us go. We have no intention of offending you and do not want to disturb you. You're negotiating terms with me, as long as my son is safe and sound. Okay, ahem. Before Meng Yan could think about the authenticity, he mechanically said. Lu Yushi gently released the cub in Xian Wanbing's arms, gently. Lu Yushi sat in his armor, sweating profusely as he watched the woman beside him with a solemn expression. Give me the cub. Xian Wanbing was also frightened at this moment. Her small face was colorless, but her slightly lowered gaze was full of greed. Star-rated battle pets. What is rare in 100 years is that she was fortunate enough to take away its child. Lu Yushi looked at Xian Wanbing and thought she was too scared to move. Don't be afraid, we just need to return it. Xian Wanbing trembled slightly and slowly handed the cub in her hands to Lu Yushi. In Lu Yushi's eyes, she was very careful, but in fact, she was extremely reluctant to part ways. Lu Yushi looked at the sleeping cub in his arms and had many thoughts before finally teleporting it out, and Meng Yan's heart tightened as he watched the cub being teleported out. The cub was too quiet. Immediately after, the roar of the shadow leopard came in waves, wandering through the entire forest. Meng Qiqi heard another roar, and strange birds in the forest ran wild, flashing through the dark sky. Suddenly, Meng Qiqi remembered that there was only a woman who brought back a war pet cub, but how did she bring it back? Rumors have it that it kills people. I wonder if Professor N can safely wait for rescue. Meng Qiqi didn't know, but because of her arrival, the exotic beast was not discovered. On the contrary, because Xian Wanbing stole the cub, it triggered a series of conflicts. You actually poisoned it. Ahem. A gust of strong wind swept by, and trees rose from the ground. And Meng Yan and others were heavily lifted and smashed into a deep pit, and Meng Yan had no room for reflection, and a wave of dizziness surged out. His internal organs were shaken and he couldn't pay attention to treating the injuries. We don't know, Senior, to calm down. If it's poisoned, there must be a misunderstanding. It's important to treat it first. I have a treatment pod to check it out. Laoan, it's broken. Lu Yushi and Xian Wanbing have both been knocked unconscious by the shock, said Lin Lin, struggling in the battle armor. First, stabilize and wait for rescue, and Meng Yan said. Meng Qiqi watched as the trees collapsed and dust flew in the distance. Suddenly, she remembered a plant that could soothe the mood of irritable feline animals. Previously, she accidentally brought back a bouquet of catnip on a deserted island, but now she can only pray for its effectiveness. Xiaolan, we won't go back to the battleship for now. Let's sneak over there. Meng Qiqi, you are crazy. If Master N asks us to return to the warship, there will inevitably be very dangerous things happening. The rescue team will be here soon, so don't make trouble. Are you sure you're not going? Seventh sister, I finally found you guys. You don't even know how miserable I was. I met a caliper beast and got bitten. Fortunately, I managed to escape unscathed. Let's leave quickly. The others are all on the warship, and we're just missing you. I'm not good enough, come and pick you up. When gang, don't call me seventh sister. I'm not as big as you yet. TSK. I'm taller than you, but we're 3 years younger, even though adults in this world are only 30 years old. Fat guy, why don't you accompany me? Meng Qiqi tentatively asked. I'll accompany you. Lan Lingzi immediately replied, where are you going? Sigh, wait for me. Time is running out. Hurry up, fat man. Don't follow us. We'll be back soon. Meng Qiqi. Lan Lingzi quickly rushed towards the jungle. Are you joking? There's no reason without me. The 1.7-meter round figure rushed into the armor and moved agilely. Meng Qiqi walked a distance and then took out the small flying machine, tying it up with a pile of grass and flying out. What is Qiqi doing? Don't talk, be careful. The two watched as the aircraft gradually moved towards and flew towards the designated location. The shadow leopard kept flapping its battle armor, angrily walking back and forth in front of the cubs. Worried, some of them whined and gently arched their bodies. Seeing no response, it rushed to the battle armor again, wanting to crush them all. Forestry controlled the battle armor and used his abilities to block them in front. Senior, wait for your cub to be saved. And Ming Yan handed out the excess healing chamber and pushed it forward. Shadow Leopard roared again and lifted it all out. At this moment, I saw a bunch of grass flying closer and closer in the air, and Ming Yan was about to shoot it down. Teacher and told me not to move around. It's very irritable now. This grass can soothe its irritability, as I have seen in ancient books. In forestry, we lead everyone to step back. Is this okay with Laoan? It's not just for fun, he said, quickly dragging his armor back. The shadow leopard swung its long tail, and a whirlwind hit it again. Suddenly, its tail turned and a pile of grass rolled up and rubbed against the ground, flipping back and forth. Its tail wagged happily, completely losing its previous angry expression, and Mingyan Forestry looked shocked. Even Emperor Wen Yuan and others who dared to rescue were stunned for a moment. Meng Qiqi looked at the image of the aircraft mapping and breathed a sigh of relief. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Return Trip. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Return Trip. Wow. When Gang suddenly exclaimed in surprise, the cute 777 orchid bells whooshed up. When did you come, fat guy? You wanted to scare us to death. Xiaolan, let's go quickly. We'll go back to the battleship before we're caught. Why are you leaving? I'll keep looking. Anyway, there's no danger now. When Gang stretched his neck and looked at the display screen, when the aircraft flies back, it will expose our position. Meng Qiqi quickly left and said, what else are you thinking? Let's go quickly. When Gang's reaction became more sensitive when he heard it in an instant, he ran to the front. He's such a flexible fat guy. Meng Qiqi accidentally looked to the side and found a nest of egg palms, with 5 small and 1 large white ones, and the big ones must be double yellow eggs. Egg custard, scrambled eggs. 7-7, come up quickly, here it is. Meng Qiqi quickly withdrew and waited to return to study. A few people quickly left without realizing it. The little cub woke up on its own and ran to the big shadow leopard to roll back and forth. So cute. The happy appearance has completely disappeared from the previous state of unconsciousness. Emperor Wen Yuan's deep blue eyes sparkled with light. Quickly organize personnel to bring unconscious individuals to the treatment cabin for evacuation, and do not forget to leave a few crystals as a way to soothe the shadow leopard. Everyone evacuated to the position of the warship, and Mingyan thanked Emperor Wen Yuan and other humanitarian personnel. And Mingyan did not expect that it was the Emperor General who came to rescue him, which was very unexpected. Emperor Wen Yuan and others returned to the nearby desolate star and continued to clean up the exotic beasts. Boss, what kind of grass are you talking about? Why do these leaves grow like this? They're so powerful. A man wearing a green battle robe kept asking questions. Emperor Wen Yuan sat on a chair, dressed in black casual clothes, with cold and stern features full of exotic charm. His narrow eyes drooped slightly, and he carefully looked at the leaves in his hand. He saw the leaves of this plant falling on the body of the little shadow leopard, and then the little shadow leopard woke up. A delicate man pushed the mirror in his eyes and said, based on the image, this thing was carried over by a flying machine. It's in Mingyan and his students. Take it and study it thoroughly, and also let everyone know if they have seen it somewhere before. Wenza turned around and left, ignoring the chattering people around him. Lu Qi looked at Wenza who had left and said, "Boss, what about me? You can go out now and talk less and watch more in the future." Yes, turned around and left, returning to Zhongzhou Star with the warship. Meng Qiqi and others were sent home one by one. As soon as Meng Qiqi entered the door, she saw a small robot coming over and muttering. "Qiqi, you have finally come back. Anbao hasn't seen you for many days and misses you very much. Don't worry, I take care of your home very well, clean it very clean, and water the flowers. Anbao, quickly pack up the things here and put them in the refrigerator." Anbao is the name Meng Qiqi gave to this little robot. Security belongs to domestic robots. He is only about 1.3 meters tall. The initial form appears stiff but is actually very flexible. Meng Qiqi only observed the decorations in the room. It's just a simple 2-bedroom apartment, nothing special, but the kitchen is very, very clean. So, Qiqi began a frenzy of procurement. Continuously searching online for kitchen utensils from normal households, I found them to be very expensive. Then, I checked my remaining 120,000 Interstellar coins in my card, which is money. A rice cooker costs over 1,500 yuan, which is really luxurious. It's enough to eat nutrient solution for 3 months. For experienced foodies, a lack of money is temporary, and eating is necessary. So I started buying and selling various seasonings, which were expensive and not cost-effective. I persisted for a period of time and waited until I went out to find the seasoning. I bought exotic animal meat, and now normal meat is not available. After a great meal of buying, it was very satisfying. After finishing, I looked in my wallet and saw that there were only over 20,000 left. After thinking for a moment, I decided to sell some of the meat from those giant shell beasts, so they started creating their own shops on the website again, including food shops, Jiuwage, and Zenpinzhai. After a moment of contemplation, I came up with a more domineering name, called Tao Tai Ju. The symbolism of gluttony represents wisdom and spiritual will, symbolizing connotation and characteristics. In ancient times, it was the main decoration of artifacts, reflecting the cultural life of ancient people. Tao Tai is a monster in ancient Chinese legends, the head of the 4 major ferocious beasts in ancient times, and its meaning also metaphorically refers to a greedy person. It's actually a greedy beast. The meaning of giving this name is to tell everyone that everything is edible and that everything is food. Hanging the giant shell meat on top, thinking about how much it costs per kilogram. Second level exotic animal meat, 2,000 star coins per kilogram, can relieve fatigue. Mushrooms as edible ingredients, with accompanying preparation method 500/gene. After connecting to the star network and listing them one by one. The things she bought have arrived, and she's starting to sort them out and start cooking. I have been lifting the meat for a long time, and upon seeing the patterns on it, the meat of this kicking beast looks a bit like beef. So he decided to make beef, and then a steamed egg. First, cut the meat into small pieces and soak it in blood water. Then put the seasonings one by one into the pot to stir fry, add sugar, add beef soup, and steam the rice on the rice. It cost more than 10,000 yuan. It's really worth planting. If you eat like this, you will go bankrupt. Take those few eggs out of the space button and eat them for yourself, big and small. Dang dang. Did the egg not break open? Using force, dang, this egg is too hard, isn't it? Meng Qiqi picked up this double yolk egg and carefully looked at it. There were many strange patterns on it that could not be seen without careful examination. So Meng Qiqi picked up the normal egg next to her and took a look. There is nothing else except for it. Meng Qiqi picked up the egg and shook it, but there was no sound. She pressed it against her ear and listened, but there was still no sound. Put it aside when making a decision, and study it later. It will be ready in a while, braised beef, and red rice as big as a thumb. There are also steamed eggs and fresh crab meat. A very sumptuous lunch. Eating delicious food is the true essence of life. The meat of exotic animals is particularly fresh and tender, and steamed eggs have a milky aroma, smooth and smooth. Meng Qiqi decided to make another juice and see if there was a sweet fruit in the refrigerator. When Meng Qiqi returned to the dining table, she found that the beef soup was gone and the steamed eggs were half missing. Meng Qiqi's face was bewildered. Looking at the nearby grease, she followed the trajectory to search for the thief who was stealing food. An egg is still deep in its original place, and if it weren't for the oil stains around it, it wouldn't have been discovered. Meng Qiqi picked up the spoon and knocked it hard a few times, but still pretended to be motionless. So she took it seriously again and knocked it a few times without moving. Meng Qiqi smiled diagonally, picked up a big spoon and threw it. Before it could hit it, it slipped away. The egg yolk is about to be beaten out if it doesn't slip away. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Double Yellow Eggs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Double Yellow Eggs. Meng Qiqi watched the egg slip away. Go to the pool and wash it yourself, then come back. No matter if it can understand or not, it continues to eat. Although it cannot understand how egg custard is eaten without a mouth, stealing and disturbing my meal is unforgivable. Meng Qiqi finished eating, but the egg had not returned yet. When she came to the kitchen again, she found that the double yellow egg was constantly being washed away by the faucet, and the patterns on her body flickered. Catching the egg, it didn't resist, but the pattern was gone again. Open the star net and search carefully, discovering that the variety cannot be verified. I see the egg lying in front of me. Who allows you to steal my food? Why do you still need to eat an egg? Aren't you supposed to be eaten? Double yolk eggs lay there, their veins flickering again, as if they were talking. What are you flashing, like an induction light? After eating my food, you have to listen to me and use yourself to pay off debts. Do you hear that? The double yellow egg pattern is flashing again. Flash and pretend you agree. If you behave well, I'll make you delicious food, but if you don't behave well, I'll grill you. As she spoke, she released her fire-type ability. Shuanghuang egg immediately flashed eagerly, and Meng Qiqi looked at the egg and thought quite cooperatively. The third chapter of the treaty is: firstly, no one is allowed to move around except for me. Secondly, when eating, you must finish it with my consent and clean yourself. Thirdly, before you even think about it, let's just go take a shower and rest. After saying this, I walked into the bathroom to take a shower. Shuanghuangdan collapsed there, neither moving nor flickering. If you could see through X.ray, you could find that the little thing inside was particularly depressed. I've already said it, I'm eating openly and not stealing, and I was also forced to appear here. I was just sneaking out to play, but I ran into a bird's egg and stole a few. Who would have thought I would wake up like this when I fell asleep? I just stole a few bites. Why should I pay off the debt? What is it all about to pay off the debt? I almost got grilled and wronged, but the food is really delicious. Ah. Forget it anyway, I won't be hungry in the future, so I don't have to go out and find food. It's good to think about it. Sleep. Double yolk eggs bounced off the table and jumped onto the sofa, then went to sleep. Meng Qiqi finished taking a shower and looked at herself in the mirror. Her oval face, willow leaf eyebrows, round eyes, a bit baby fat, a smile with dimples, and a bit sweet. Although she was different from her former coldness, she happily accepted this version of herself. When she woke up, she realized that her gluttonous little shop didn't know what was going on. I clicked in and took a look at the fryer. A group of people commented wildly. What is this name? Yoho, I specifically went to investigate. It means one of the ancient ferocious beasts, a greedy monster. What kind of thing? What to buy? It's said to be a second-level nutritional ingredient, but that's a giant shell beast. Can you eat it? It won't be toxic, right? It's too expensive, isn't it? Enough nutrition liquid for me for a year. We still guarantee the quality, but if something happens, it will backfire. From ancient times to the present, there have been people who have been spouting cannons. When I clicked on them, I found that the giant shell meat and mushrooms were gone. It was bought by 5 people as soon as the name, Greedy Fat Man, appeared. He thought of Wengang. There is also an interesting name called Yuan, who loves to eat fish. Are there any fish left at this time? At least I haven't seen any income yet. A happy day has begun. Wengang hugged his huge shell and happily returned to the apartment. This time, no one could snatch me, so he quickly rushed into the kitchen and started moving. Wenza pushed the door open and saw Wengang eating as soon as he entered. If you have eaten it, then you don't need to eat what I brought you. Brother, can we not do this? Come and eat together. Last time you took all my food with you, I didn't even say anything. My cousin didn't praise me, otherwise he wouldn't have eaten anything. You can tell him directly. When Zay sat down, it's better not to do it, I don't have the courage. Previously, your mentorin was in danger. Are you on a warship? What is this for? You won't scold me again, will you? Yes, yes. Really? You hesitated for a moment when answering. I said, brother, if I don't believe you, why don't you ask? Have you seen the pictures I sent you before? Wen just nodded with a questioning expression on his face. I've watched the video several times, and this thing is quite impressive. Brother, is he really as amazing as you said? We're still testing, but it's confirmed that it's catnip. The specific properties cannot be determined yet because it's mutated. Oh, I've finished eating, I need to go see my armor, Wen just said and ran away. Wenza shook his head helplessly and said, I have something else to do after finishing my meal. If you need it, just go buy it and leave it stuck on the table. Okay, Wengang didn't tell the truth. He knew that it belonged to Meng Qiqi and the others. Even though he couldn't be sure, they definitely knew. He didn't want to betray his friends, nor did he want to deceive his brother. He had to do this for now, yes, but we haven't seen this thing before, right? I will send someone to contact you, said An Mingyan, who was also being ravaged over and over again. Laoan, my communication is about to be vomited. If it's not possible, just ask Meng Qiqi and tell them where it is. Why bother? Lin Lin really wants to take a vacation at this moment. Meng Qiqi has also saved our lives, let alone she took out such a valuable item without seeking anything in return. She has little to rely on, so she should strive for something more for her. Okay, you're a good person. Alright. Didn't you also take action to record the lives of Lu Yushi and others? Otherwise, you could have applied medicine like this. No matter how much trouble you make, it's useless to talk. Dad can arrange everything with just one phone call. Meng Qiqi opened the Star Network Gluttony House here, and surprisingly, there was a live broadcast channel. After opening the live broadcast, she started preparing and planned to make a sweet potato, boiled meat slices, and chiffon cake, cold mixed mountain and wild vegetables. Meng Qiqi's hands kept cutting different things, and in the live broadcast, only a pair of elongated hands could be seen, constantly busy. Oh, what's the name of this live broadcast room? What is it for? What are you doing with washing dirt bumps? What kind of meat is this? It looks very fresh, doesn't it? The knife craftsmanship is good, it cuts of different sizes. I'll come in and see what exactly it's selling. Can the giant shell meat that was hanging before really be eaten? It's so expensive and someone even bought it up. It must be a drag. I really bought a pound of mushrooms and they were really delicious, so I came over. Indeed, upstairs is a drag who is procrastinating. If you can't eat it yourself, talk sour. What is she doing? Meng Qiqi looked up at only 3 people, put the marinated meat slices and red oil into the food and water, put the wild vegetables and mushrooms inside, boil the meat one by one for a while, pour it into a plate to start the soul stage, and pour hot oil of chili and sesame peppers on top. With a sizzling sound and a fragrant aroma. The red oil is very appetizing. Oh, what kind of flavor is so fragrant with a hint of numbness? Oh my God, I'm poisoned. My eyes are streaming with tears. Help me quickly. I've been coughing all along, it's so dark. I want to complain about him. Oh, the taste seems to have changed, how can I eat this? If I eat it, I will die young. I also made cold mountain and wild vegetables, and then sat on a chiffon cake to separate the egg whites and yolks and stir them. Put an appropriate amount of flour, sugar and milk oil into the yolks, add a little lemon to the egg whites, and add sugar to beat mix and stir together, pour in a grinding tool, adjust the temperature of the oven, and put it in finally, make shredded sweet potatoes. Meng Qiqi has been cooking seriously and has not seen anything at all. Shuang Wangdan has been waiting on the table for a long time, flashing and rolling, looking impatient and impatient. Once the sweet potatoes are ready, the chiffon cake will be ready. Get ready for dinner. Oh my god, why does that goosebump have such a sweet taste? My nutritional supplements don't even smell good anymore. Me too, it's too cruel. Please give me a feeding of love, the anchor. Hurry up and turn off the hologram. We're going crazy. Is that sweet and fragrant taste really made from eggs? It looks so soft. I can't do it anymore. I need to buy materials to make it. I threw my nutrients into the trash can, and I feel like I can eat enough just by smelling the smell. Meng Qiqi looked at the subtitles but didn't show her face. That's all for today. If you want to do it yourself, you can watch the replay. The tutorial will be released later. See you next time. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Smoky Double Yellow Eggs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Smoky Double Yellow Eggs. Meng Qiqi saw Shuang Wangdan waiting at the dining table and was really enthusiastic about eating, but she didn't have eyes and mouth, and didn't know what expression it was. Meng Qiqi gave it milk, put it inside, and then prepared to cook. This boiled meat slice is really delicious, spicy and fragrant. This is the true human delicacy. With a satisfied expression on the face of dried rice, the double yolk egg rolled in the milk bowl and jumped into the plate of boiled meat slices. I rolled off. Then you can see the rapid decline of boiled meat slices. Egg's head was smoking, and it jumped out in an instant. It quickly jumped back into the milk bowl, and the whole egg was smoking, becoming increasingly red and red. The milk only improved a little after being consumed, but the eggs turned pink, which was very funny. Ha ha ha, if you're still an egg, be greedy. Now, look at yourself. You've changed color, Double yolk eggs are spinning back and forth, rushing into the faucet to receive the baptism of water, and emitting white smoke with a squeaking sound. The color gradually fades away. Meng Qiqi specially cut a piece of chiffon cake and put it in its bowl. Come back, I've cut you a cake that's very delicious. Come and try it. Meng Qiqi thought about it for a moment, but it didn't have a mouth, so it may not have eaten the cake. Just as I was about to take it out, it flew back and accurately pressed onto the cake, as if saying, don't try to take it away. I'll see if you can eat one, but if you can, I won't take it away. The double yolk egg flashed the lines on its body, turning blue. The blue light enveloped the cake, and in an instant, the cake was broken down into very small particles that followed the lines into the egg. Afterwards, it lazily lay down and became very quiet. Meng Qiqi didn't expect an egg to be able to cross the eggshell and eat, as if devouring energy through patterns. It's so powerful, but I don't know what species it is. It made her even more curious. After finishing, it decided to rearrange its living space and invited Lan Lingzi to go shopping together. The girl's happiness is to buy, and buy. Lan Lingzi piloted a new aircraft to pick up Meng Qiqi. Are you looking good at Qiqi? Battle fans, good appearance. I'll tell you what, you'll definitely like it. This is the aircraft my dad gave you, and the one I picked for you is definitely the most expensive. I can buy the Xiaolan aircraft myself, but I can't accept this gift. It's too expensive, said the mischievous daughter. Listen to me first. Before you leave, give me an egg. I was going to take it back and cook it to eat, but I boiled all the water. Just as I was about to throw the egg in, my dad snatched it down and said it couldn't be eaten. Focus on the key points. The key is that it hatched in just a few days after being placed in the incubator. Guess what hatched? It's a mutated beast with water attributes. The double-headed snake python is a mid-level battle pet, and it's hard to buy. My dad is extremely happy. So you must accept this gift, Lan Lingzi said excitedly. Okay, I'll take it. Let's go shopping right away. Don't you even wonder what it looks like? It's super cute. I want to renovate my place of residence. Then I also need to buy some seasonings and food. I'll cook when I go back. Really, that's great. From wallpaper to curtains. From lights to clothes, the two of them strolled from dawn until dark. I'll go back and cook a big meal for you today. I feel like I can eat a unicorn. When I was browsing, I didn't feel hungry, but now I feel like I have no strength left. Return to the residence and hand over the things to Anbao, then start walking into the kitchen to prepare today's feast. Lan Lingzi wandered around the hall board. Xiao Lan, help me start the live broadcast. Qiqi, you're starting a live broadcast, I'll help you. Can you help me wash the vegetables? You don't need to turn on the sound, just turn on the hologram. Okay. I squatted for a day, and this live broadcast finally started. Yeah, I've been squatting so hard too. Thinking about the dishes I made that day, I feel like what I've been eating for over 30 years. I have watched the replay many times, drinking nutrient solution and imagining eating those spicy boiled meat slices. Am I just passing by and joining in to live stream the food? What is boiled meat slices in water? The number of people in the live broadcast room has increased from a dozen to several hundred. Fried steak, spicy crab, pepper and salt mushrooms, seasonal vegetable noodles in soup. Except for the noodles, which take some time, everything else is done very quickly. Mix flour and water to form a dough, let it sit for a few minutes, and start making salt and pepper mushrooms. Wash the mushrooms thoroughly, remove excess water, fry and stir fry before sprinkling salt and pepper to complete. What kind of cuisine is this? Isn't this giant mushroom poisonous? The recipe looks so simple, I really want to eat it well. My eyes tell me I can, but my hands say I think too much. There's an extra figure today. Oh my god, it turns out that flour can not only make explosions, but also make such soft pasta. I've seen a lot of it. This knife craftsmanship is amazing. The fat man from Feitian brought a flying car. Puze Earth sends 52 small flowers. Show off your wealth. It seems like I don't have it. Has Xiaolan's water been cooked yet? Okay. You come down here, I'll fry the steak and stir-fry some crabs. Let's cook for so long. What crab? The new name I gave to the giant shell beast is crab. Oh, it sounds quite nice. What kind of immortal flavor is this? Is the meat of this giant shell beast so fragrant? It just has a slightly strong taste and tears flow down my face. And then I feel even more fragrant. Let's take a look at me live. Feitian's chubby guy brought a battle armor. The fat man flying in the sky sent a flying machine. Feitian's chubby guy sent a helicopter. Can it be eaten after making it? I'm not sure if it's edible. Who knows if she made it and just threw it away so we could buy her meat. Throw it away. Let her throw it to me. I am the trash can. Rich man, why don't you also visit me? Just a single leg hair is fine. Rich people. Puzdati sent a small car. Puzdati sent a battle armor. 7 or 7, look at the live broadcast room. 2 tycoons have arrived, which has brought your popularity to over 10,000. This gift is for you. How about I also brush it for you? It looks quite satisfying. Alright, let's have dinner. Don't brush anymore, watch rationally, and don't make impulsive purchases. Thank you. The little sister spoke very well. Oh my god, you finally spoke. I made your dish according to you. Why did it come out black? Can I order food? I really want to eat it. The specific tutorial will be provided later. As a fan benefit, please send me a small gift to eat on the first and second rankings. Please send me your private email address. That's all for today. Thank you all. Wen Gang held his brother's phone to watch the live broadcast, and at a glance, he saw Seventh Sister. He definitely supported Seventh Sister, but as a result, everyone's attention was snatched away. Fortunately, there was food available, so I quietly put my phone in place and went to the door to wait for the gift. A thin and weak little figure sat in front of the computer, as if it would shatter with a gentle touch. Young master, don't be too tired. Should we eat or rest first? Uncle Lee, I'm fine. I'll receive something and deliver it to my room later. Good. Meng Qiqi has prepared 2 portions of vegetable noodles in soup and spicy crabs and sent them out one by one. 7 or 7 is ready. Hurry up and start. Okay, Qiqi, woo-woo, this is too delicious. I want to marry you so that I can eat it every day. I don't want to be a cook. If you like it, I'll send you the tutorial later and have someone make it for you to eat. Qiqi, you are so kind. The double yolk egg is lying in its small nest and very unhappy. It won't move even if it's not delicious, sobbing. Abuse of offspring. Meng Qiqi turned around to look at the honest egg in the nest and decided to add a meal to it later as a reward for its good performance. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Visits of Teacherin. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9. Visits of Teacherin. When just received the food and quickly boarded the aircraft, returning to his residence to have dinner. Young master, your things have arrived. Okay. You go out. The boy stood up and walked at the table. Opening the carefully wrapped bag, the hot air and unique fragrance that rushed towards him instantly made XX's appetite surge. The light gray hair makes the skin exceptionally fair. The small face, like a cone, had a prominent red scar, and the brown Danfang looked at the food in front of him. He couldn't remember how long he hadn't eaten a normal meal. I took a shallow taste, smiled, and continued to eat. Time always flies, and the weather gradually cools down. Meng Qiqi woke up early to tidy up and looked at the comfortable and warm home, full of enthusiasm. Recently, she gained some money from her live broadcast and decided to buy some meat to store. If the weather gets colder, she doesn't want to go out. Dang. Teacherin, why are you here? Come in quickly. Meng Qiqi, actually I came here to ask you something. You said, last time you saved all of us, the plant with grass value was discovered and taken for research. The result was that the mutated catnip not only soothes and induces feline animals, but also treats mutated mental toxins in animals and humans. Although they investigated after returning and we did not reveal you, they will eventually find you. Thank you, Teacherin, but in fact, I accidentally discovered that catnip plant, which cannot be solely attributed to myself. Can you help me tell them the approximate location? I will try my best to fight for something for you, and here are the medals and bonuses for the nutritional ingredients you submitted. We will go in half a month. Do you want to participate in the wild star fishing giant shell beast? Okay, I happen to be looking for some ingredients too. Sure, there are no restrictions on submitting anything except for the giant shell beast. By the way, please call Lon Lingzi. Good, then I'll leave. I'll send you the specific location in half a month. Wait a moment, Teacherin. You can take this to eat, it's not something valuable. I will arrive on time then. Although he is no longer in the college, Professor N is still as considerate as before. Meng Qiqi has received his protection and will repay each other one by one in the future. The current focus is to put the double yolk eggs into the incubator first. See what kind of things can hatch. What exactly are you, double egg? I can't always call you double egg. Why not call it century egg? The egg didn't respond and pretended to be dead. That's called a ball. Let's call it Pai Gui, it's good for attracting wealth. If you can't think of it, just call it Tao Tai. One of the 9 dragons' domineering figures is exposed. The egg pattern shines brightly, and the name is very domineering. It seems that it really likes it. The name is good, but I'm afraid that a chicken will finally hatch out, so you can call it century egg. The egg rolled and slipped away, very consciously getting into the incubator. I don't even know if it can hatch out. Emperor Wen Yuan watched as Wenza angrily scolded Wen Gang, suddenly making him feel a bit like a father scolding his son. It is estimated that only when Gang will make Mr. Wan, who is usually rigorous, become so. I have both an older sister and a younger brother, but I have never had such a time before. I wonder if having a son will happen in the future. Think about it and suddenly feel down. After all, the fertility rate of senior soldiers is almost zero. Brother, I just feel like I want to go see the world with you guys. I just want to report to the Emperor General's team. Didn't I report to him? With your rookie-like strength and Hunjiang-like brain, what's up with you? How can I explain it to my parents? I didn't dare to tell them either. Do you really want to say? I remember. I have something else to attend to, so I'll leave first. When Gang, I've stopped all your cards for you, making you tinker all day. I rarely see you so angry and frustrated. I feel pretty good about it. In the future, you may be even worse off than me. And Ming Yan went to find her students, and you guessed well. In a few days, we will go catch the giant shell beast together, and they will all be there. But what do you know about this for? And Ming Yan has always been upright and grateful, but just to strive for something more. Such a person is not suitable to stand in front of others. Once they threaten others' interests, they are often sacrifices. I don't mind being a favor. Simply put, it's about acknowledging what he's doing and trying to recruit him, so there's no need to beat around the bush. Meng Qiqi looked at the ball in the incubator. Given the nickname, it's been 10 days now. I've been eating more and more every day. I come out on time to eat every day, and after finishing, I'll go back on my own. Can I still roll back and forth after hatching? Pai Chiu, I'm leaving the day after tomorrow. If you don't come out again, you'll stay in the incubator until I come back. Don't want to eat anything. Meng Qiqi didn't react as she looked at the ball, so she placed the crystal stones sent by Master and Ming Yan aside. Go to make milk pudding, beef soup and braised pork belly that Pichio likes. Super large portions. When they are ready in advance, they can eat by themselves. Meng Qiqi suddenly feels like raising a child. The light of century egg flashed. The eggshell became transparent little by little. The incubator also gradually gave out light and turned into molecules that were absorbed by century egg. The light of century egg was expanding outward. Soon the table was also broken down and absorbed. The crystals on the table were suspended and also broken down. The light gradually dimmed, as if nothing had happened just now. The transparent eggshell gradually cracked open like glass. The dark brown hair inside, with brown-black eyes, looked harmless. The pointed kitten had two small pouches on its forehead and extended its tender white paws to lick and scratch its ears, gently wagging its tail. A lazy look. The palm-sized figure stretched lazily, and the blue light on his body flashed into the size of an adult cat. His small mouth protruded two slightly long fangs, which were both fierce and cute. Oh, 7-7, come on, I'm coming out now. Look at my handsome and charming appearance. Gluttony wagged its long tail and happily walked towards the kitchen. Smell it, it smells so good. There's something delicious. Chong chong chong. Meng Qiqi turned around and was startled when she saw the ball. Gluttony. You're out now. Ahem, are you a cat or something? A mutated cat. It's so cute with a long bag. Ahem, let go of me, this hair is so smooth, you can't let it fall off. Do you hear me? It's so easy to touch. Ahem, Mao was about to be masturbated. Why did you suddenly become so big? It's unbelievable. Meng Qiqi walked out of the kitchen and found at the incubator, dining table, crystals, and green plants on the table were all gone. Did you get robbed? It's not like you ate it, right? You even ate machinery and furniture. Oh, I need a lot of energy, and I disdain to eat that. It's not delicious at all, and the crystal is pretty good. Shouldn't a cat call itself, meow meow meow? What's that sound like? Ow, I'm not a cat, what am I? Meng Qiqi looked at the suddenly empty place with a worried feeling about the future. I tell you, Pichio, if you dare to eat furniture again, I will cut off your food. I can't do anything about it. I'm still young, and when I get older, I can spit it out. I can't run out of food. I'm still young. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Battle Pet Ball. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Battle Pet Ball. What should you do when I leave? How about staying in the animal enclosure yourself? I'll take you to get some fresh air. Oh, I just want to eat something delicious. That means I agree. Okay. Tao Tai looked at the owner who was talking to himself and jumped up to lightly lick Meng Qiqi's hand. Pichio, your tongue feels quite painful when you lick it. Thinking your hand has turned red, I looked up and found a strange blue pattern on the inner side of my wrist. What is this? It's a contract pattern. 2 people are equal partners. Owl, I can understand what you're saying now. A wheezing voice whispered in my ear. Woo Qiqi, you can finally hear me speak. I want to eat egg custard and meat, chi-fong cake, grilled meat, sour and spicy noodles. Meng Qiqi watched as she excitedly waved her paws, constantly describing her eagerness. Listening to its childish language, she smiled and said, a big meal, no problem celebrating your birthday. That's great. I still have to eat that boiled meat slice, it feels spicy. I need energy to grow up and become super powerful, and you will also become super powerful. Good seems to have added a hint of sensitivity to the ball and the presence of the object's position, making it even more sensitive. The feeling of hunger is even more pronounced. You can better feel the energy that the gluttonous body lacks, and put out the previously prepared spicy crab meat, crab roe sauce, mushroom meat sauce, egg bun rice, roasted beef, beef jerky, milk pudding, egg custard, stewed meat, sweet potato jerky. One by one to start I started eating in a whirlwind. Meng Qiqi lay there with a soft and comfortable stomach. The feeling of being full is really good. 7 or 7, I forgot to tell you that after we sign the contract, your energy absorption will increase. The glutton wagged its tail in embarrassment. Meng Qiqi finally realized that she had prepared a month's worth of rations. Jumping up and looking at the plates in this place, there was a feeling of rest in my life. Which girl ate so much? Who can afford it? Woo! I let out a big hiccup on my forehead. Pichio, you better be useful, otherwise we both won't be able to survive, and eating is a problem. Of course, I am very powerful. Although I am still young, I can eat it and spit it out. It will have special effects. Also, I can eat anything, it is very powerful. Don't tell me, I can eat a lot of things, is that also a skill? Besides, why do you have to spit out after eating it? It's so disgusting. Qiqi, what I'm talking about is me, but there may also be a slight effect. When I need energy, you also need a lot of energy. However, this situation only occurs during infancy. Your ability to absorb energy will also increase, and there will be additional skills to devour energy. I knew how long your childhood was. This one seems to be 150 years, or it could be 100 years. I don't remember it anymore. I just got out of the shell. Woo-woo. It's me who should cry. I want to be quiet. Goose, tomorrow I have to continue making reserve grain, and my wallet whizzes away from me. I need to lie down for a while longer. Tao Tai continued to nestle in the sofa, thinking for a moment that he seemed to have forgotten something. What did you forget? Forget it, take a nap for now. One day in the future, I deeply regret it. Why don't I think about it? Qiqi, I'm here. Do you miss me? Come on, let me show you my beauty. A emerald green 2-headed snake, half the size of a wrist, stretched out from the collar of Lan Lingzi, making a faint sound. Meng Qiqi looked at her scalp tingling. She was most afraid of snakes and had 2 more heads. I pulled my lips but didn't laugh. Tao Tai smelled an unfamiliar aura and jumped up to stand on Meng Qiqi's shoulder, looking like an old man. Here, ow, get out of here or I'll eat you. Shoo, it's so scary, it even eats me. Master, it bullies Xiaomei. Meng Qiqi kicked the ball and it instantly converged. Hey, Xiaomei, why are you hiding? Are you shy? It's possible, Qiqi, when did you buy a pet? Is it a cat? It's so cute. Its paws are so white and its fur is so shiny. Lan Lingzi looked at Tao Tai and was about to reach out to touch her. Don't touch me, be careful, I'll eat you. Owl owl, why is it meowing like this? Shouldn't it meow? Meng Qiqi pressed her head and let Lan Lingzi touch it for a moment, ignoring its resistance and struggle. Her words continued, ahem, Qi and others bullied me, and Wu Wu still touched me. I only have Qi to touch. I want to eat her. Why has this cry changed? It's strange and curious, it's not happy anymore, it doesn't like others touching it, it's angry. And Fandian still wants to go out and find something delicious, so this is it. Next time I won't touch you, just touch it all at once. Ahem, hiss hiss, it's going to get angry, hurry up Wu Wu, Xiaomei, let's go first. The bag carried by Lan Lingzi was instantly split and flew into the mouth of the ball. Tao Tai even bared his teeth at Lan Lingzi, saying don't touch me. The air suddenly became very peaceful, and Lan Lingzi watched the scene stiffly. Xiaomei in her arms shrunk into the animal ring, trembling and reducing her presence. Meng Qiqi also smiled helplessly, who made her pet so angry. Humph, the ball aimed its butt at Lan Lingzi and wagged its tail, so try not to touch it as much as possible, it has a bad temper. I can see it, reflected for a moment before thinking again, teacher, and asked us to start now. Okay, Lan Lingzi breathed a sigh of relief as she watched Meng Qiqi put the glutton into the beast ring. After all, she was really scared just now. Where did you find such a fierce battle pet? What attribute is it? It ate all the food I brought you. Fortunately, I didn't take it out. I accidentally found it. I thought it was just a cat, but I didn't expect it to. You are really pitiful. War pets are very powerful, but you can tolerate their temper. It doesn't get angry easily, it really likes the delicious food I make, so it's very obedient. Oh my god, I suddenly feel a little jealous. I also really like eating well, right? I have prepared a lot of delicious food, you have a taste buds now. Ah 7, you're the best. By the way, I'm telling you some exciting news. Do you know that the Emperor is the leader of this warship? The Emperor is a legendary figure. Oh my goodness, I heard he is a rare spiritual genius. You don't even know. If the people in the circle know that we and the Emperor and the General are both jealous and crazy, why are you so calm? That's a famous bachelor in the imperial capital, the most beautiful man in the world, with a passionate fan expression on his face. He became so excited that he didn't even meet before. Oh, I just feel a bit surprised. After all, I've only heard of it. Yeah, I heard he. After all, helping friends shoot photos of models and spokespersons for various brands, so I didn't feel that excited or have any fan stories. 7, she's so noisy, I can't sleep. She impatiently covered her ears with her paws in the animal ring. It'll be fine in a while. I'm talking about how you can still hear me in the animal ring. I can hear it any time I want, so making noise is also your own choice. End of this chapter.